proceedings Tuesday to Thursday. Live, uncensored, unedited. KBC, your national broadcaster.
Love.
Love is in the air.
It's celebrated in all forms worldwide. There is the Kenyan love.
It looks like it's Valentine's Day.
The children's love. The ladies' love.
I swear that I'm dying to feel myself in your arms.
The gentleman's love. Love that is comic. Dramatic.
Please don't do this to me. I have to talk to her.
Sporty. Breathtaking. Whatever your choice, let it rain this February with love.
This is getting better and best.
Only on KBC Channel 1.
Beacon Furnitures Limited. We're local manufacturers of quality office furniture, dealers in quality office equipment like fireproof safes and cabinets. Our automated state-of-the-art factories at Henna House along Enterprise Road in Nairobi's industrial area. Our showroom is at Uniafrica House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. We are passionate believers in locally manufactured goods. When you and I buy locally made furniture, we impact on the livelihoods of our brothers and sisters. For orders, visit our showroom at Uniafrica House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. Beacon Furnitures Limited. Jenga Kenya, tupate ajira.
Good afternoon. I trust you're having a lovely Thursday. So farewell. Here on Channel 1 Lunchtime News, we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up for you this afternoon. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Sign language interpreter is Lucy Maur. And remember, you can interact with us on our social media handles at KBC Channel 1. And to kick us off this afternoon, we'll cross over to Serena Hotel, where Azimio la Umoja women supporters have converged at the facility, with the meeting being led by a section of women leaders. And at the moment, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu is currently addressing the meeting. Let's listen in.
Jeshi wa baba mitaani, vijijini na madukuni, tukieneza sera za muungano wa Azimio la Umoja, kutafuta, kutoa na kulinda kura za baba. By our support for the People's Project has been informed by his 10-point agenda for our nation. For this movement, Baba Care, a program that will ensure that our children, mothers, and sisters access free but quality medical health care is dear to our hearts. Hakina mama zetu, watoto wetu hawatapata wakati mgumu kulipa gharama ya hospitali. Hakuna hospitali itazuia wagonjwa na maiti kwa sababu ya kukosa pesa za kulipia gharama za matibabu. Jeshi la mama litahakikisha ya kwamba hii imetimika chini la serikali ya Baba Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Na tunasema kina mama tuko juu sana. Asante sana. Niulize Honorable Eve. Nataka kuuliza Honorable Eve. Sasa uje usome kifungo ile ingine.
Asante sana. Baba hoye. Hoye. Baba hoye. Hoye. Thank you very much. This is Eve. Thank you very much. This is Ivo Barra from Kabondo Kasipul constituency. Baba's vision of rolling out a social protection. Wait. Thank you very much. I'll start again. Baba's vision of rolling out a social protection program to deliver 6,000 shillings per month to 2 million most needy families speaks to the needs of our mothers across the country. Uchumi kwa Kina Mama program that focuses on the true multipliers of wealth in our communities, women, is a vision that the People's Project, Raila Amolo Odinga, has seen selling across our nation. It is a gospel that Azimio Women Movement will take to every corner of our nation. Wamama hoi. Wamama hoi. Tutokeni boardroom tuende kwa ground. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
So I start this? Yeah. We envision supporting our grandmothers, mothers, and sisters who are valuable members of society with 6,000 shillings per month social protection program. 6,000 kila mwezi kwa kila jamii ambayo iko na mama na baba, itakuwa jukumu la serikali ya Baba. Wanjiku, Atieno, Mora, Hadija na wengine ambao wako na familia lakini hawana chakula, hawatalala na njaa. Tena chini ya serikali ya Baba. Jeshi la Baba litahakikisha hii imefanyika. Baba hoye. Hoye.
Unlocking access to finance and supporting businesses owned by women, increasing access to
Well, those live pictures from Serena Hotel where Azimio La Umoja women supporters have converged and they have drummed up support for former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. We shall be bringing you a more detailed report in our subsequent bulletins. For now, we move on. Residents of Mandera County have raised an alarm over the biting drought that has taken a toll on their livelihood. The residents who claim to have lost livestock worth millions of shillings to the drought now want the government to intervene.
The affected residents say water has become a rare commodity after water pans have dried up. The drought is so severe that residents are now migrating with herds of livestock to the neighboring Somalia and Ethiopia in search of water and pasture. They claim the government offtake program is not effective as livestock are still dying as they watch hopelessly.
Wakati wa ukame ile mbaya sana. Mafugo sasa kuisha. Inabaki 1, 2, 3. Na hizo mabunda sasa imevivia sasa hakuna nguvu na nyingine imekufa. Na hakuna kitu tunaweza kushota maji. Sasa tumepatiwa chakula sasa hiyo chakula hata hakuna namna ya kula. Sababu chakula inahitaji maji.
Local administrators are now urging every stakeholder to chip in before the situation worsens.
Hata chakula hii tunapeana sasa hii hawana maji ya kupika naye. Mifugo wameanza kufa haswa ng'ombe. Kwa hivyo tunaomba kama kuna wafadhili wote wa kusaidia hawa wananchi tungelikushukuru, ndio tunasema wakaribu.
Mandera County Commissioner Onesmus Kiatha said the government has distributed over 179 million shillings to some needy 30,000 people, each receiving 6,000 shillings. Mandera is facing serious food shortage due to failed rains in the last 2 years, with areas most hit being Kiambisu, Hareri, Libahela and Farai.
Kwa familia zaidi ya 29,878 wamepata already pesa shilingi 6,000 ili kusaidia kwamba wanajilinda kutokana na janga la hii ukame ambayo inaendelea kutuadhiri.
Now, in other news, the list of state officers stepping down to pursue elective politics continued to grow Thursday in compliance with the February 9th deadline. Foreign Affairs Chief Administrative Secretary Ababu Namwamba being the latest to tender his resignation earlier on Thursday ahead of the August 9 general election. Now, reporter Kam Chimenza has more details. Let's join her. Well, we do apologize for that, H, and we shall be bringing you that report later on in our bulletin. For now, we move on. Salom Ombete, an MCA aspirant in Ugenya North who was kidnapped on Monday in Jeddah and dumped in a sugarcane plantation in Matayo's constituency, Busia County, has been found. The victim said he was allegedly kidnapped by unknown people on his way home. He added that his attackers later dumped him in Matayo's after beating him up and warning him to quit politics. The politician has blamed the kidnapping on his political nemesis.
Veterinary Board ni muhimu sana, ndio inashughulikia mambo ya policy ile na direct mambo ambayo yanahusu wanyama na matibabu yake. Ilishaguliwa mwaka uliopita mwezi wa 3, lakini waziri anaitwa Peter Munya amekataa kuitangaza ama kuweka katika Kenya Gazette ili ifanye kazi. Sasa hiyo imehujumu kazi yote inayohusu matibabu ama mambo yote yanayohusu wanyama. Kwa hivyo
political arena, the Ormer Council of Elders in Tana River County is divided over the endorsement of a gubernatorial candidate from the community. A section of elders has dismissed the recent endorsement of former Governor and Interior Chief Administrative Secretary Hussein Dado, insisting that Bura Member of Parliament Ali Wambiru got the endorsement of a majority of elders. Safin Achengoma with the details.
The negotiated democracy method of picking political aspirants in the Orma community has been put to test, with the elders now divided over who is the preferred candidate for the Tana River gubernatorial race. Barely days after the endorsement of former Governor and Interior CAS Hussein Dado, a section of elders has come out to dismiss his endorsement, insisting that Bura Member of Parliament Ali Wambiru had already been endorsed as the community's pick for the Tana River gubernatorial race.
Sote tulikaa kuanzia tarehe 24 mwezi wa 11 tukavunja mrengo. Ile mrengo wa Ali Wambiru, mrengo wa Jilo, mrengo wa Hussein Dado, tukavunja tukaleta wote pamoja. Sisi pande yote watu wakakubaliana, hii maneno ikabidhiwa Matadeda waongoze watoe mwelekeo. Tarehe 3 tukakutana Dibe, tukaamua kutangaza Ali Wambiru kama flag bearer ya jamii ya Orma.
The elders also claim that Dado had been informed of the elders' decision before he opted to hold a parallel endorsement ceremony.
Kabla ya hapo tulituma watu kwa Mheshimiwa Dado, baada ya sisi kuamua kwamba ni Ali Wambiru ndio atakuja kuchukua, lakini kabla tujatangaza tulituma supporters ya Hussein Dado na baadhi ya wazee wa Matadeda, ikiwa Bagada iko ndani Malindi. Wazee wakamwambia, safari hii sisi tunakuomba kwa maombi kubwa, tunakuombea wewe baki kwa ajili umeongoza hii jamii, ukakuwa balozi, kwa kuwa DC balozi, kwa kuwa governor. Saa hii umezoeka, maka yako pia imesonga, na hii jamii, kwa ajili ya hii jamii tunakuomba wewe ubaki. Akasema yeye hawezi baki, kama si yeye hawezi baki.
Tana River County is inhabited by 3 major communities, namely the Orma, Wardei and the Pokomo. Any of the 3 who produce more than one candidate for any one political seat risk losing it, since they will split the votes, hence the preference for negotiated democracy.
And away from matters politics, a family in Mai Mahiu is seeking justice after their daughter was allegedly attacked by a machete-wielding man in a suspected domestic feud. The family says despite reporting the matter to authorities, no action has been taken and the suspect is still at large.
Agnes Njeri says the suspect demanded custody of 2 children before she was waylaid on her way home.
Alikuwa na chuma mkononi na hapa kando yake alikuwa na panga. Akakuja akanishika. Akaniambia kuja twende na wewe na huku na mimi nataka kumalizia. Kwenda tu distance kidogo tu. Si kujua nikianguka, alinipiga na chuma kichwa nikaanguka.
The family says they now live in fear following the incident. They have been forced to camp at home to protect their mother and her recuperating sister amid fears that the suspect may attack again.
Mama yangu aliachwa na baba yangu miaka 10 na kitu imepita, na hatujawahi kuungana kwa sababu ya ugonjwa ama nini. Lakini imefikia mahali tumeona sasa mama yetu ako kwa hatari.
Speaking on phone, Naivasha OCPD Samuel Waweru promised to take up the matter personally, adding that no one is above the law.
Chuka University Vice-Chancellor Erastus Njoka has resigned to vie for the Tharaka Nithi County governorship. Njoka said he plans to use his vast knowledge and experience in the management level to change the fortunes of Tharaka Nithi County.
Speaking to the press, the immediate former Chuka University Vice-Chancellor said that he has left a legacy at the university where he has been at the helm for the last 16 years. Njoka noted that during his tenure he has always been prioritizing development.
Kwa sababu ninataka kuingia kwa wananchi, nijenge nchi. Ninataka kuweka professionalism katika uongozi wa county, kwa sababu nimekaa hapa Mnajua huku ni kama nyumbani, kule watu wanaita Gichagi. Nimeona hakuna proper transformation, na sasa ninataka kuingia huko ni transform.
He said that he will use his managerial skills to propel Tharaka Nithi County to a higher level of development.
Kutoka hii university ianze, hakuja kuwa na kashfa hata moja, kwa sababu tunaenda katika msimu wa elections. Ningetaka kuambia Wakenya wawe watulivu, wawe wapenda amani, wasinje wakapotozwa na watu ambao wanaharibu nchi, wanaingia kwa kifua.
At the same time, Baringo County Assembly Clerk Richard Kowet has resigned to vie for the Baringo County Governor's position. Kowet said he will focus on the expansion of resource base and revenue collection in order to supplement the support of other sectors of the county's economy.
I have the desire and the ambition to serve the people of Baringo at a different capacity. I am resigning, or I've tendered my resignation on this date, the 9th of February 2022, in compliance with the Elections Act of 2011.
He joins a list of other public officers countrywide who have relinquished their posts to join politics.
In other news, Nairobi Area Traffic Commander Joshua Mukata is urging all Kenyans to observe traffic rules to reduce road accidents. Mukata says traffic-related accidents have claimed the lives of 48 people in Nairobi over the last 1 month. He is warning that the number may climb if stricter measures are not put in place to tame the vice.
It will not be business as usual for border operators in the capital city, Nairobi. Nairobi Area Traffic Commander Joshua Mukata has put on notice all traffic offenders.
Are swinging in action, and due process is going to take place to whoever is going to be found doing that kind of behavior.
He revealed that a number of motorcyclists deliberately carry more than one passenger and are often riding on the wrong side of the road.
Getting to be carried by a border as a second or a third passenger, we are not going to accept that. We are seeking for cooperation with the passengers, with those ones being carried, not to accept to board a motorcycle as a second passenger. That is wrong.
He says that 48 avoidable deaths have occurred between January and February in Nairobi. All PSV operators have been warned against overlapping.
This matter of overlapping, the matter of driving motor vehicles without due care, without minding about any other person, should stop. Footbridges have been constructed here in Nairobi along our main roads for the purpose of ensuring that pedestrians are crossing the roads safely.
Unroadworthy vehicles operating in Nairobi, particularly at the wee hours and weekends, will not be spared either.
We are going to focus on those hours we are talking about. That is very early in the morning. We are going to focus even at night. I agree with you. There are some public service vehicles, we call them illegal operators, who tend to come out when they think that police officers are out from the road. We are going to focus on that to ensure that we deal with them properly, early in the morning, at night, and the weekends.
Timothy Kipnoso for Lunchtime News.
And now on matters education, parents and students from poor backgrounds in Isiolo County have a reason to smile following the first disbursement of county bursary funds over 2 years. The county administration last issued bursary checks in the year 2019. The Controller of Budget stopped the issuance of checks, demanding that the Isiolo County Assembly first enacts a legal framework to govern the issuance of bursary funds in the county. Following the passage of the county bursary fund bill by Isiolo County Assembly, the county government will now issue bursary allocations for the year 2020 and 2021 this year. Addressing parents, teachers and students representatives when he presided over the issuance of bursary funds worth 35 million shillings, the county secretary, Dr. Ahmed Galgalo, said that the county administration will issue more bursary checks of a similar amount in April this year.
8,500 children wameweza kufaidika na bursary ya 35 million. Na Mungu akitujalia mwezi wa 4 pia tuna launch ingine 35 million. Na pia the same number itaweza kufaidika. Yule mtu atapatikana akifanya ufisadi katika hii bursary. Tuko na disciplinary committee kwa ofisi yangu kwa sababu tunakaa mkutano ya shira kila wiki. Kajuju mimi nataka kuongojea jina wale wamefanya ufisadi, kama kunao tafadhali nataka kuona huko.
Sisi hapa leo ile furaha tuko naye ni bila kifani, kwa sababu tulikuwa tukijipiga roho kila wakati walimu watafukuza watoto, lakini leo tumehakikishiwa, tumepata machecks, watoto yetu hawatarudishwa nyumbani na walimu.
The county government of Samburu has distributed Sahiwal breeds to at least 196 pastoralists in Samburu West free of charge. The dairy cows worth 24 million shillings will help in strengthening the dairy sector in the region in terms of meat and milk production. The county government says it plans to increase the production of meat and milk by 30% under the program.
Farmers yetu kwa kubadilisha mbegu ya ng'ombe ili tupate ng'ombe wa nyama, ng'ombe wa faida fulani compared na ile ng'ombe yetu kawaida ya traditional. Leo karibu ward 5 itafaidika, beneficiaries kama 200. Tuko na breeding stock ambayo ni ndume ambayo itaendeleza kupata hii mbegu ya Sahiwal, na tunatarajia kwamba itasaidia katika kuinua uchumi ya wafugaji.
Tunasaidia hapa nyanda ya juu kwa kuongeza nyama pia na maziwa kupitia kununua dopa na kuwapatia wakulima wetu. Kufikia sasa tumepeana dopa 300 na kipindi hiki pia tutapeana wengine 160.
Afadhali mimi nasakumambia wa Samburu tubadilishe ng'ombe yetu ya kienyeji ya kusa 10,000 ama 15,000, 20,000, sababu kwetu ndume yetu kubwa tunauza 40 mpaka 30. Na hii mimi naona ng'ombe ya Sahiwal kuwa na ndume yako kubwa sasa kuza 60,000 kama tu ile ng'ombe grade, sababu ng'ombe grade kusa ndume na sasa 100.
Well, that report brings us to a fast break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We'll be back in a short while with more news.
Mundos divididos por una sombra de traición.
Little by little, I'm beginning to put the pieces of the puzzle together. I'll find out what happened that night, and to be honest, things are not going to look good for you.
What if instead of having Alonso as your enemy, you can turn him into your friend? Maybe even more than friend. You're someone important to me. Except that
you don't love me.
I would like you to forgive me for whatever I may have done to offend you. Everything seems to be duly registered.
No, I don't believe everything's legal, attorney. There has to be something.
You will know what I'm talking about soon enough. When your girlfriend takes off her mask, you will remember what I said. Lying heart.
Fue sembrando el veneno y la ambición.
Juhudi za Rais Uhuru Kenyatta za kustawisha viwanda nchini zimechangia pakubwa katika kuunda nafasi zaidi za kazi na kukuza uchumi wa taifa hili. Wiki hii kwenye Project 254,
we have made a deliberate decision
to prioritize the development of micro, small and medium enterprises as part of our Big Four agenda.
We've also seen under the regime of President Kenyatta some favorable legislation that are now put in place. The environment for manufacturing is now becoming more conducive to investors.
Kuna mashini zingine ziko pale zimekuja, mashini ambayo ni modern, sio kama zile za zamani tulikuwa tunatumia. Yenyewe kusema ukweli kazi huru tumeona akiwa ametufanyia kazi poa.
Keep abreast of the developments live from the National Assembly and the Senate.
Honourable members of Parliament.
The questions.
When is the construction expected to commence?
The motions.
Beg to give notice of the following motion.
The debate.
Will as many as want to be to say aye.
The statements.
A statement on an issue of general topical concern.
The petitions.
Order number 4, petitions.
Stay tuned to KBC Channel 1 and Radio Taifa for live proceedings from both houses of parliament from Tuesday to Thursday. Live, uncensored, unedited. KBC, your national broadcaster.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Your Excellency, mine is only to thank you for ascending to the 3 bills.
I am glad to inform Kenyans that I have today ascended to the bills as a sign of my commitment to political reforms. When the elections are called, I urge all contestants to ensure that they conduct their campaign in a mature and peaceful manner.
Welcome back. Now let's proceed. Animal health technicians have faulted Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya for failing to gazette elected members of the Kenya Veterinary Board. Speaking in Murang'a Town, the technician said individuals who were elected to be members of the board in March last year are yet to be appointed, led by Chairman of Animal Health Technicians and Technologists Association of Kenya, Paul Kariuki-Ndongo. The veterinary professionals claimed failure by Munya to appoint the elected people has crippled operations of the board. He further said during the time there has been no board in place, quacks have dominated the field, putting lives of Kenyans at risk of consuming contaminated animal products.
Veterinary Board ni muhimu sana, ndio inashughulikia mambo ya policy ile na direct mambo ambayo yanahusu wanyama na matibabu yake. Ilishaguliwa mwaka uliopita mwezi wa 3, lakini waziri anaitwa Peter Munya amekataa kuitangaza ama kuweka katika Kenya Gazette ili ifanye kazi. Sasa hiyo imehujumu kazi yote inayohusu matibabu ama mambo yote yanayohusu wanyama. Kwa hivyo
And now, in the business world, the Kenya Film Classification Board has launched a clean content consumption training in various schools across the country, owing to the increased cases of cybercrime targeting the youth. Kenya Film and Classification Board Acting CEO Christopher Wambiru says there is need for increased consumer awareness, especially during this time when criminals are increasingly using social media and online gaming platforms to target potential victims.
Kenya Film Classification Board Acting CEO Christopher Wambiru says awareness on child online safety and digital parenting is necessary in Kenya to avoid cases where children access inappropriate sites or indulge in cybercrime. Addressing a webinar that discussed issues relating to safer internet, Wambiru noted that besides security checks and passwords offered as a line of defense, the internet still remains a largely uncontrollable domain. While marking the World Internet Day here in Kenya, various stakeholders in the sector called on internet users in the country to be more vigilant about the kind of content and information they access or give while they're online. Google's public policy and government relations lead for Kenya and East Africa, Michael Murungi, said Google is actively working on new technologies that will provide a secure, seamless sign-in experience and eliminate reliance on passwords that have turned out to be a major cause for data breaches and phishing attempts. Users often find passwords hard to remember and have to update them regularly. Reporting for Lunchtime News, my name is Bak Said.
The government is banking on a private sector-driven approach to grow exports to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development Chief Administrative Secretary David Osiani is challenging Kenyans to leverage the bilateral trade agreement between Kenya and DRC, as well as the anticipated admission of DRC into the East African community to grow exports.
The Democratic Republic of Congo could be admitted to the East African community as early as this month, as processes for the country to join the trading bloc are validated. Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development Chief Administrative Secretary David Osiani is challenging Kenyans to tap business opportunities in the DRC, riding on the bilateral trade agreement signed last September by the two countries.
We have enticed a lot of our entrepreneurs to go value addition, because if we don't add value to them, we lose jobs midway.
Osiani has tipped businesses on value addition of products to gain a competitive advantage in the largely unexplored market.
We can only take the lead so that the private sector benefits from our, from these forays we make.
You find there is that trade, vibrant trade within the region that we need to tap to.
Osiani has backed direct passenger and cargo flights between Kenya and the Democratic Republic of Congo to help grow trade and tourism. Reporting for Lunchtime News, my name is Bak Said.
Moving on, HMD Global is calling on authorities to do more in reining in contraband devices which still find their way into the market despite efforts to stop the vice. Here's Alana Oko with more details.
According to the anti-counterfeit agency ACA, about 1 in 5 products sold in major towns in the country are counterfeit, with only 19% purchasing the goods knowingly. The anti-counterfeit agency says most of the counterfeit goods are handsets, which is hurting those in the value chain.
It is still happening. We are still also seeing those counterfeit devices, and we are very unhappy about that. If you buy a counterfeit device, as we just discussed, last 2 years, major global supply chain disruption. We can't even get enough material to sell enough phones, so we have to work very hard.
Visiting HMD CEO Global Florian Sishe is, however, upbeat that Kenyans' appetite for digital inclusion will drive sales, leveraging partnerships and innovation centered on empowering the consumer.
Example of the consumer financing of the Nokia phones. Actually, we as HMD provide a key enabler, which is called the SoftLock, HMD SoftLock tool, which means that our partner, in this case M-Copper, they can extend this financing offers to much larger group of consumers.
And we've seen a 400% growth in devices that have been sold through device financing. So that's been incredible to see that shift and the ability for consumers to purchase a device and pay that device off over time.
Having a handset in this era is a matter of preference and taste. But how genuine is the handset you're holding in your hand today? Alan Auko, Lunchtime News.
The United Nations humanitarian partners have appealed for more than $500 billion shillings to provide life-saving assistance and protection to about 21.1 million people in the Horn of Africa region. The UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said between 12 and 14 million people are waking up each day to face high levels of acute food insecurity and severe water shortages in the region due to drought. Here are the details of these and other stories making headlines across Africa.
The UN Relief Agency is calling on donors to fund the vibrant network of local community-based and women-led organizations, including refugee-led organizations, which carry out work in drought-affected communities every day. It has welcomed the emergency declarations issued by some governments and called on other governments across the Horn of Africa region to prioritize the drought emergency by allocating the necessary funds to provide a timely, comprehensive support to their communities. According to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, the migration of livestock in search of pasture has reduced milk production, negatively affecting nutrition, especially for children. Meanwhile, Nigeria's digital currency e-Naira has gained momentum since its launch in October last year, with nearly 800,000 downloads in 160 countries so far. However, prospective users have lodged complaints about the stringent requirements to onboard and activate their e-wallets. As with any cryptocurrency, users are required to provide detailed background information, which often deters people from following through with the sign-up process. For now, the e-Naira platform is only designed to work with smartphones, but it is the best platform for payments and transactions. Finally, Google has launched a new academy to offer free training to small and medium enterprises and entrepreneurs in South Africa. Known as the Google Hustle Academy, the program has been designed to help entrepreneurs and small business owners position their businesses for investment opportunities and build viable models for the future. Google Hustle Academy is expected to offer interactive activities and instructions by subject matter experts. In Africa, SMEs account for around 80% of jobs and a significant source for economic growth.
Meanwhile, the government is banking on sports events to drive up tourist arrivals and revenue. The 9-day East Africa Safari Classic Rally that was flagged off today, as well as the 4-day World Rally Championship slated for June this year, are key sporting events projected to anchor recovery of the hospitality industry from disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Kenya will be the only country in Africa to host one of the 12-event circuit of the World Rally Championship, taking place across the globe between January and November, with Kenya hosting the 6th event in June this year. The 4-day event is expected to attract 5,000 guests, who are expected to pump about 6 billion shillings into the economy. Ahead of the World Rally Championship, Kenya is hosting the 10th edition of the East Africa Safari Classic Rally, which was today flagged off at the Kenya Wildlife Institute Service Park by Sports Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed. The rally has stirred up excitement across 11 counties that fall within its course route. Also excited are those in the tourism marketing agencies and the hospitality industry, who expect to reap from guests involved in the rally.
The rally series is actually lifting Naivasha tourism to another level. Numbers are flowing in. People are enjoying because people who love sport, particularly the rallies, are really out to enjoy. And they actually coming to this facility and the larger Naivasha facilities, come stay, relax and enjoy.
For this great event, it's been fantastic. We're very, very happy to have them here. As you can see, There's quite a lot of people, a lot of action. Happy days.
Hospitality industry players have lauded the government for pitching to host international events that encourage more visits into the country.
Everybody will now want to come and see this series. We have the East African Safari Rally. Of course, the African Rally Championship is coming, and the World Rally Championship will follow thereafter.
Highly recommend anybody to come to this beautiful country, and particularly here in Naivasha to witness firsthand its wonderful, wonderful wildlife, wonderful scenery, wonderful weather, and great people.
The government is banking on sports events such as the World Rally Championship and the East Africa Safari Classic Rally to drive up tourist arrivals and revenue.
Kenya is joining the list of countries to have a digital currency as a legal tender. The Central Bank of Kenya is inviting your views about the planned rollout of the central bank digital currency in Kenya. Central Bank says new digital payment methods to service money in a digital form have emerged to facilitate transactions.
The Bahamas, Nigeria, China, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Dominica and Montserrat are countries trying to create their own digital currencies. In these countries, the value of the central bank-controlled digital currency mirrors the price of its physical equivalent. Kenya is seeking to join this list. The Central Bank of Kenya is inviting your views on creation and applicability of a central bank digital currency. The banking regulator has given you 90 days to forward your written submissions or representations about the central bank digital currency. Currently, the central bank says the domestic payment landscape is comprised of public sector players, including CBK and payment service providers, meaning that the ecosystem is a mix of cash and digital currencies. The CBK says risks such as financial exclusion, technological risks, data privacy balances are some of the teething issues the country will potentially be exposed to. But proponents of the move have in the past said an official digital currency in Kenya will bring about financial stability, consumer protection, promote innovation and enhance payments. The central bank says a central bank digital currency will be a sovereign currency in an electronic form and will appear as a liability on CBK's balance sheet, but an asset to users holding it. Alan Aoko, Lunchtime News.
COVID-19 restrictions are at the heart of many ongoing protests in Canada, which have paralyzed movement in the capital city for nearly 2 weeks. The so-called Freedom Convoy protest in Ottawa is calling for Canada's pandemic measures, including a cross-border vaccine mandate, to be axed. Here are the details of these and other news making headlines across the globe.
Trucks and other vehicles have overwhelmed Ottawa's Parliament Hill. The downtown area has been paralyzed. Those staying there say they won't back down. The protests have already spread to other areas. The Ambassador Bridge, a critical border crossing between the largest Canadian province of Ontario and Michigan in the neighboring U.S., has been blocked to some degree now for 3 days. That will be a concern for authorities and the economy, as the bridge sees about 1/4 of all the goods that go between the two countries every day, according to Statistics Canada, with roughly $300 million worth of goods passing over it under normal circumstances. Meanwhile, a billionaire-old black diamond, believed to be the world's largest cut diamond, has been sold for $4.3 million. Named the Enigma, the 555.55 carat gem, which weighs about the same as a banana, had been expected to fetch more than $6 million in the online auction. Auctioneer Sotheby's says the buyer has opted to use cryptocurrency for the purchase. There are competing theories about the origins of the stone, including that it was carried to Earth by an asteroid. Sotheby's did not identify the purchaser, but after the auction, cryptocurrency entrepreneur Richard Hart took to social media to claim that he was the buyer of the Enigma. Finally, the Reserve Bank of India has held its key lending rate steady at a record low as expected, but surprised markets by also keeping its deposit rate unchanged, as some economists had expected a hike to realign it with short-term money market rates. The Monetary Policy Committee held a lending rate at 4%. The reverse repo rate, or key borrowing rate, was kept unchanged at 3.35%. The central bank had slashed the repo rate by a total of 115 basis points since March 2020 to soften the blow from the coronavirus pandemic and tough containment measures.
And now in the sports arena, Chelsea will meet a Brazilian side, Palmeiras, in the FIFA Club World Cup final. After a 1-0 victory over Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal at the Mohammed bin Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi. Now the win was courtesy of Romelu Lukaku's goal.
Kai Havertz will try again. Too high for Lukaku! Chelsea in front.
Romelu Lukaku scored the only goal in the first half from close range. It was Lukaku's 9th goal of the season and ended a 6-game drought after he missed a couple of opportunities earlier